Shalom, Israel. I'm preaching officer of 1,000, Thamayam. I got a preaching officer of 1,000, Shabbat Halak, and we are teaching the I.S.U.P.K history and news. All right. Today's topic is about how love conquered marriage. Today, over here in America, we believe in a tradition called finding somebody that you love to marry. But what if I told you that marriage was not based off love? Marriage is based off family, man. All right? And we're going to show you facts and scriptures in the Bible to prove our point. All right? Shabbat, can you read that article for me?
Khan. PBS.org. It reads, when did marriage become about love? Did you know marrying for love is a pretty recent development in human history?
Oh, man. That means that this is something new on the earth. Right. A man created this, not God. Okay? Read.
Khan. A couple in love at a wedding may seem like the most natural thing in the world. But for most of human history, this was not the principal motivation for the union of two people.
Continue.
Marriage has traditionally been about alliances, gaining in-laws, and expanding the family labor force. So
continue. Keep going.
So how did love conquer marriage?
Right here it says, marriage was about labor force, family labor force. Okay? Family labor force. All right? This you and your nation, your people, is based off family. All right? And we got to understand that in the Bible times, marriage didn't go how it goes right now. You just wasn't walking around and you see something that looked nice, something that got a nice shape and a nice face, and you base off your partner going to be that woman because of her looks. Okay? Most of us, we base our marriage partners off of their looks when you should get to know a person. Okay? But back in the Bible times, your father and your mother, mainly your father, they got to know that person you married before you became, husband and wife. They got to know that person. And they had a judgment in saying, yes, I want that to be your husband, or I want that to be your wife. Because they have experience, they have understanding. You don't know what the hell you're doing because you've never been married. But guess what? We want to do things the American way. We want to do things that our slave master, our oppressor, we want to do things in his nature, in his spirit, and you wonder why it's not working. Okay? Because your slave master, who is Esau, the white man, he don't know nothing about marriage. Okay? He knows about sleeping with another man's wife. He knows about homosexuality. That's why marriages don't work. But guess what? That homosexuality movement, the LGBTQ community movement, that's running smooth in America, ain't it? You know what's successful in America? The gay movement, the horror movement, anything that's out of order and against God, that is running successful in America. That is the big business in America. But marriages, divorces, it always happened in America, and it mainly happened with the Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian community, man. Because we are practicing marriage based off these heathens that don't know God. God means power. And God gave us his laws, his nature. And then when we decide to follow God and not decide to follow these other nations, we can show the whole earth, this whole world, how marriage is supposed to be.
Right.
All right? Warrior. Now let's go into God's word. Let's see what God says about marriage. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1.
Khan.
Deuteronomy,
sir. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the
Why did
Hittite.
the Lord stop right there? Stop right there. Why did the Lord bring us into the land of the Canaanites, which is today is modern day Israel? But why did the Lord kick out all these nations out of the land of Israel? If he wanted all of us to be together, be one human race, why did God cast these nations out and wanted us just to be there? Because marriage and the Lord, most of all, is all about family. Okay? And God is our Father. I mean, Christ is our King. I mean, and the Lord only wants to serve us. Okay? And the other nations supposed to serve us. But they don't want to serve us, so the Lord had to kick them out. Kick them out, build us up, make us that great, mighty nation, more powerful than America. And once we get more powerful than America, and it's going to happen, all these nations shall respect us, just like they respect America.
Right.
Because these nations, believe it or not, they respect whoever's in charge. And we're going to be in charge. Okay? You shall see very soon black supremacy. All right? Read, warrior.
Khan. The Hittites and the Gergesites and the Amorites and the Canaanites.
All these names that Sharatazar is mentioning, these are Canaanite nations or people. The Lord kicking these Canaanites out because the Lord don't deal with Hamites. The Lord don't deal with Africans. Okay? Right. He don't deal with the rest of these nations. He only deal with so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Okay? And we are today the modern day Israelites. So when the Lord say he we're kicking these nations out, but for the nation of Israel, he is talking about us. And he still wanted to be this way today. The Lord don't change, man. Understand that. We change. God don't change. Okay? Read verse 2, warrior.
Khan, verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
Right now, the Lord don't want us putting our hands on them, man. But if they put their hands on us, we must protect ourselves. We must protect ourselves, okay? But the Lord say, don't make no agreements with them. And we're gonna learn and read on why the Lord say don't make no agreements with them. Covenant means agreement, okay? Read on.
Khan, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Now shalt thou make marriages with them. Don't make no marriage with them. Read.
Khan. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Let me tell you something. Even though over here in America, we don't follow the laws of God, but when you bring a white woman in the house to your mother and father, they look at you crazy. Right. Okay? When you go to a white woman's house, if she bring you there, because she knows better. She knows better. But some of them real stupid and dumb like that. They'll bring your black behind right in their mama and dad house. And as soon as you leave, she might get something thrown at her. She might get disclaimed. She might get disowned by her whole family. Because even nature doesn't like that. By nature, these other heathen nations don't like their family marrying somebody else, man. Learn the story about Bruce Lee, when Bruce Lee married that white woman. That white woman's parents did not like Bruce Lee. They hated Bruce Lee. They called him yellow, a yellow man, okay? Because the rest of these nations, they don't like that. And these Christians, these black Christians, they say they don't have no problem with it. But they let you know, deep down inside, it comes out of them. They don't like that. Okay? Read.
Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
That's real, man. That's real. Because when you go with a white woman, you cannot tell that white woman every goddamn day that God is a nigga. I serve the nigga God. You can't keep saying that Christ is a black man. Because she gonna get offended. What about my white Jesus? Okay, well, what about the Christ that don't have no color? It's the reason why the rest of these nations don't want Christ to have no color, man. All right? Because they don't want to serve no nigger God. They don't want to serve and follow Christ. Christ is not God, but he is the king of Israel. And they don't want to follow no black king. That's why they don't respect you. Don't respect you. All right? They refuse to do that. They're ready to die. They'll take you away for serving the God of this Bible, who is black, man. They got nappy hair. Because they don't want to serve him. But you do. Let me tell you something. Buddha, he look Chinese because he's the God of the Chinese. Okay? Shiva. We're gonna go get into Shiva later on. Shiva got something to do with this class today. But Shiva, she look like the East Indians because she is the God of the East Indians. But who is the nigger God? Who is the God of the niggers? The God of this Bible. All right? The God that this whole earth attacks. This whole earth grabbed this Bible and try to tell the people of this Bible how their God look like. They even made pictures of Christ. I mean, in the picture they put up of Christ, this man named Cedra Borgel was a goddamn murderer. Slept with his own damn sister. All right? And his gay lover painted him. But that's who they want you to serve. They're ready for you to serve that white man, that disgusting white man, than to serve that black man that died for us in the Bible. We can't follow him. We can't serve him as our king because they don't want to serve him. I tell you what, let's separate from these nations. Let's not marry them. Let's not make no agreement with them so we can serve our God in peace. Okay? Read on the rest of that, warrior.
That they may serve other gods.
So you gonna serve other gods. Like I just said. If you marry if you marry an Arab woman, she gonna want you to serve Allah. Okay? And if you don't serve Allah, you're gonna be in the house hearing Allah all day long when she in there praying. Okay? If you marry a Chinese woman, you're gonna have to put up with Buddha. You're gonna have to put up with their gods because that's their tradition. All right? And they're gonna tell you, don't force your religion on me. All right? What they're really saying is, don't force your culture on me. Don't force your way of life on me. Okay? Because that's not my culture. I'm not your people. So why should we be together then? We can't become one because we're not the same.
Right.
The only way you become one with a woman and you're a man if you're the same people. That's the only way you can become one. And that relationship gonna be confused. It's gonna be straight confusion, and your children gonna be in confusion. Unless they come into the I.S.U.P.K. If that child got a black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian father, he is okay to come in here and we will teach him the right way, man. That's the only way. But if that child got a black mother and a white father, you keep him the hell away from the doors of the I.S.U.P.K. because we protect our people in here. Okay? Ain't no heathen gonna come in here and try to convert nobody or try to kill somebody in my school, man. We check people at the door and we ask you, what's your nationality? Who is your father? That's real protection, man. All right? Read, warrior.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
That's why we destroy it right now. That's why we destroy it. Because we think we can leave our black sister and go marry a white woman. But that's why we destroy it. That's why the earth got flooded. Because the sons of God, who are today, is the Israelites. Back then, we were the sons of God. We was looking at other nations. We stopped sleeping with other nations. And God said, I hate this, man. God hated it so much. He said, I repent that I made man. That's how much he hates it. God don't like that, man. And he flooded the whole earth to start all back over again with Noah. And what he did with Noah, Shirazazah, what did he do with Noah's sons? Did he keep Noah's sons together? This is how much God likes separation. What did God do with Noah's sons, his 3 sons?
He separated them.
He separated those brothers. And guess what? He separated Jacob and Esau too. He separated Isaac and Ishmael. The Lord take families and separate them. The Lord likes separation, man. The Lord ain't never like no unity. That's why the I.S.U.P.K don't like no goddamn unity camp. Ain't no unity. It's one. There can only be one. Call me the Highlander. There can only be one. And that's the home of the truth. The I.S.U.P.K. All right. Read, warrior.
Come. Verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images.
And that's why we throw down that white Jesus. We throw him down on the ground. We take the Quran and hey, we might piss on it, man, at home. I might throw it in the toilet stool at home. I might do something disgusting to that Quran because it's garbage. I think the Quran is better toilet paper than the toilet paper I got at home. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's that exquisite toilet paper. Yeah, man. Let's go into the next article, warrior. The next article. Let's get it cracking, man. Because we're gonna get into this make-believe marriage. All this fake love. That's fake love. What we follow in America is fake love. And let me tell you how it's fake love. These women, they got kids, right? They won't leave their kids. They will not abandon their kids. But they'll leave a nigga quick. Oh, they'll leave your black behind in a heartbeat, man. One little small thing you do, I'm gonna leave you. That's what they do. That's what America told our women to do. But they stay with their kids. And they let this damn system of America raise their kid by kicking that father out the house, man. All right? Just know when you marry that black woman, she already married to the white man in her spirit. In her spirit, she already married to a white man. And that's why your marriages don't work. Because your woman, check this out, when you get those marriage papers, you basically asking the white man for his slave. Can I get your slave? And she let you know you got to go to my slave master, my white daddy, to marry me. You got to get his permission. So instead of you paying her biological father, you are paying her slave master. Okay? The one that she really loves, the one that she let raise up, the ones she don't despise. And guess what? She despises her earthly father. You hear how people talk about it all the time. My daddy ain't shit. Excuse my language. My daddy ain't nothing. Okay? But when it comes to white people, oh, they support them. They defend them. That's the Christian doctrine all day. Defend the white man. Defend whitey. They know how to do that good. But they don't know how to defend their own kind. They don't know how to defend niggas. They don't know how to defend their own family. They suck at that. They suck at it. They are horrible at it. All right? Let's get into a war. Let's get that article.
Khan. This article reads, all right, it says, the strange history of marrying for love.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm going to get, one second. Okay. Into the 16th century, marriage and love were seen as very distinct states that rarely intersected.
Oh, Flock, you missed one thing. I need you to read under the strange history of marrying for love. I need you to read that paragraph that's under that first. Let's read that first.
It says, the strange history of marrying for love. For much of recorded history, love was thought to have no place between a husband and a wife.
Wow. Why? Because you had to learn to love one another. You had to learn that. You had to marry that man that your mother and father picked for you, and you had to learn how to love that man. How do you learn how to love somebody? You tolerate the stuff that they do by not leaving them. Okay? You have to learn how to love them. You can't just leave them. Okay? Y'all have to work it out. You have to fix your problems. You cannot fix your problems by leaving your husband or leaving your wife. Christ did not agree with this. Christ said from the beginning, it was not so. what God put together, let no man separate. Okay, let no man break it apart, man. All right. That's why when a woman used to commit adultery, or a man, they used to get stoned to death. But how do a woman commit adultery? A woman commits adultery by sleeping with another man, and when she's married. A man commits adultery when he sleeps with another man's wife. But if a man is married, he could go marry another woman that is single, man. It's all through the Bible. Jacob had 4 wives. Our ancestors always had multiple wives. Hell, you go to Africa right now, they got multiple wives. You go to China or any other place, they have multiple wives, man. Okay, this place, America, this is the only place of confusion, probably in Europe too. I mean, that's where these devils come from. But this is the place where confusion is happening at, where people think you cannot have more than one wife. All right? But read, warrior.
Come. It says, into the 16th century, marriage and love were seen as very distinct states that rarely intersected.
You know?
The notion of love as the main reason to get married to someone is a relatively modern development.
Right. Because, hey, somebody said, I want you to give me some examples, man. Give me some good examples of how do people in America marry off love.
Con, let me see. One way is, you know, the woman, she marries a man based off, you know, they're looking for a best friend.
Right.
They want capability. You know what I'm saying? They want to be compatible. You know, if you're not compatible with her, which means compatible means like you know, you never get into an argument. You just agree on everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't even agree with your friend. That's a woman. So on everything. So how you think you're gonna agree? How a man is gonna agree with you on everything?
Right. Right.
You know?
And you know what? A man in nature, he likes he supposed to like the opposite. But this place in America, they teach you supposed to like something that's close to you. You know,
right.
You're supposed to have something in comparison. I don't want my woman to have nothing in comparison with me but the truth.
Right.
Okay? When it comes to the truth, I want you to be all the way compatible with me. But when it comes to like this worldly stuff and other things, you know, we supposed to be the opposite. And even in the truth, believe it or not, we're supposed to be opposite. I take that back because I could go to camp. My wife cannot go to camp.
Right.
Okay? I could get behind this podium and teach. My wife is not allowed to get behind this podium and teach. And there's a reason why. Okay? I'm going to give you that reason. If I'm in a house and I'm asleep, and me and her in the same bed together, we sleep, the children are asleep in the other room, and somebody come in and break in the house, what do I supposed to do? I'm supposed to risk my life. I'm supposed to risk my life in stopping that burglar. But my wife, she's supposed to protect those kids and make sure they stay safe. And you know what I want my wife to do? I want my wife to take those kids and run. Run. Don't worry about me. Take those kids and run. Make sure y'all is safe because I want y'all to live. Okay? I have a whole nother agenda, a whole nother reason, a whole nother purpose. Okay? And I want my wife to die by my side. I want my wife to live. Okay? I don't want to marry no goddamn woman king. I don't want no damn woman king. Okay? Those women in that movie did not look attractive anyway. They took away their goddamn titties and they cut off their goddamn clitoris. I don't want no woman like that. But y'all dudes in the world, that turns you on. You're suspect to me. That is real suspect. But let's read on.
Con, sir. Another thing, sir, I wanted to add was that women always say, I'm looking for true love. I want to fall in love. And that's why they can't never stay with a man.
Yeah, it's true love is falling in love, doing something stupid to get somebody love. That's what it is. When you fall in love, You're doing something stupid to gain somebody's love. Most women these days want you to do something stupid to get their love.
Mm-hmm.
What's something stupid to get their love? Spending about $10,000 on a goddamn ring to prove your love. Spending $30,000, $50,000 on a damn wedding to prove your love. Huh? To go to the white man to ask them for your black woman to prove your love. That is so damn stupid. That is stupid. You know how many men do not have $50,000 to spend on a damn wedding? You know how many men don't have $10,000 to spend on whatever? But you want this man to do this stupid act to get your love. And I don't want to fall in love, man. No. I rather learn how to love you. And you learn how to love me. I don't want to be stupid for you, because that's not love. That's hatred, man. That is hatred. You hate your man to make him get down on one goddamn knee with a ring in front of everybody. This man lost his whole goddamn manhood in front of the whole world to prove his love to you. You don't love me, man. You hate me. You hate me. All right? Read on.
For most of recorded history, love was not a consideration. If it existed between husband and wife, it was considered a fortunate byproduct.
Uh-huh.
But more often, partners in love were considered a danger to the success of the enterprise.
Yeah, because when you in love, when that man is in love with that woman, guess what happened? That man turned into King Ahab. And now King Ahab is letting Jezebel run the whole show. That man turned into Samson. He turned into these weak men like Adam and Eve. Adam let Eve run the show because Adam was in love with Eve, and he didn't love the Lord like he was supposed to. He loved that woman more than he loved the Lord. And that's why you go get a wedding ring. That's why you go to the get a marriage papers and stuff like that. That's why you do stupid things for love, because you love that woman more than you love God. But you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't love both. Because you're gonna my bad. You can't love one more than you love the other, because you're gonna hate one more than you love the other. You're gonna hate the other one. Okay? You're gonna end up hating that man and my bad, you're gonna end up hating God and loving that woman. Okay? Because that woman gonna make you hate your God. Sure, she wants you to convert. Because God says sex is marriage. Sex is marriage. But the white man says sex is marriage papers. But when did marriage papers come out? Let's do the real history on that. Marriage papers came out in the 1600s. The 1600s or the 1700s, one of those periods, that when marriage papers came out. And marriage papers came out to keep the white race pure. Look up the Baker's Rebellion. The Baker's Rebellion will tell you all about it. It was a time where white men and black women got married and they revolted against the government. And guess what? The government said this cannot happen ever again. Let's make it illegal for white men to marry black women. And that's when they came out with marriage license. You better look it up. Better look it up. Okay, let's read on.
The idea of marriage, primarily as a business arrangement, seems antithetical to most of us today.
Uh-huh.
There is little doubt that love is the driving force for marketing the institution and enticing new subscribers to sign on the dotted line.
Read that again. Read the end part.
There is little doubt that love is the driving force for
now, here again. There is little doubt. That means everybody knows this. Stop playing. Stop playing. Love. That word love would make a man say, you know what, I'll marry you on paper. Because you know what that woman does? This is what that woman does. If you don't marry me on paper, you don't love me. When y'all married already. Y'all been together for like 2 to 3 years. You already married. But guess what? To her, you don't love her unless you go get the white man papers. And she used that word love to convince you. You don't love me. She said to you every day. My mama and daddy say, we shacking up. We shacking up if you don't marry me. And if you don't marry me, you don't love me. My Christian mother and my Christian dad say, you don't love me if you don't marry me. My Christian friend, my Christian sister, they say you don't love me if we're not married on papers.
Right.
When you've been married the whole damn time. But read that last sentence, warrior.
It says, there is little doubt that love is the driving force for marketing the institution and enticing new subscribers to sign on the dotted line.
Basically, man, the white man pushes this doctrine of, falling in love and get married if you're in love. Love, love, love. This is how the white man get rich. He get rich off you damn dummies. Because if you knew the truth, you wouldn't run down to that courthouse and say them vows that you don't even mean.
Right.
The vows say, to death do us part. For sickness or health, for better or worse. Y'all stay there when it's better, but you leave when it's worse. You leave when it's worse. You leave when you're not happy. You leave. When the circus ride or the carnival ride, the ride in the fair, when it's over with, you ready to go on another ride. You're tired of that ride. That ride boring. You have no loyalty. You have no morals. You have no integrity. You don't give a damn because you follow a man that don't give a damn, man. You don't want to be no wife. You want the title. You just want the title. You want somebody to think you're innocent, think you're good. I'm somebody's wife. But why married couples are the main people to cheat in America? The main one to go sleep with another person in America. This same man that tells you to get married on paper, he pay these rappers all this money to influence you to go sleep with another man's wife. Oh, it ain't right to let you sleep with another man's wife.
Right.
I mean, when a woman see another man with a wedding ring on, hey, that make other women want him even more. You ain't stopping nothing. I know people that had wedding rings, and that turned other women on. That turns them on. You think you put a leash on him? They like that. They love that. You ain't stopping nothing because it's against God and it's against nature, and God gonna show you it's against nature. He gonna show you he don't like it. All right. Oh, let's go to these scriptures, warrior. Baba Gashar. What's that scripture I sent you? The next one?
You want Tobit 4 and 12?
Nah. Yeah, let me get Tobit. Baba Gashar.
All right. Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
Say that again. Say that again.
And chiefly take
read from the top, Baba Gashar.
Tobit 4 and 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Right.
Because interracial marriage is whoredom. If you're a black man going with a white woman, God's saying you a hoe, man. You a hoe, man. You a hoe at. I don't want to cuss, but you a hoe. Read on.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
Seed is sperm. Seed is sperm. And you put sperm in a woman. You put seed in a woman. And this seed, you got to put this in a woman that comes from your people. All right, read on.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
Hey, what? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Say that again. Say that again.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
Why do God call the other nation of women strange women?
Because they're not your family.
Yeah. And they look strange.
Right.
You look at her, I don't see my reflection. When I see the black woman, I see my reflection. When I see the Hispanic woman, I see my reflection. When I see the Native American Indian woman, I see my reflection. And I see the reflection of my condition. That white woman in the goddamn slave. I'm a slave, man, over here in America. How can I marry the slave master daughter that got me in slavery right now? You goddamn sellout. How can I marry this African when these Africans own stores in my neighborhood and took our stores out of our neighborhood, man? How can I marry my enemy? I'm not marrying my enemy, man. Take not a strange woman because you are making the enemy strong. I'm not going to make the enemy strong. I'm going to make my family strong. Read, warrior.
Come. Which is not of thy father's tribe.
Uh-huh.
For we are the children of the prophets.
Uh-huh. We are the children of the prophets. Okay, that is very, very important. This is why we cannot sleep with them, because we are prophets, man. We are holy. The Lord ain't choose them. The Lord don't want them, man. And we're gonna see who these prophets are. Read.
Right. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah. Who else?
It says, remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children. And their
I want you to keep reading them names. I need them names. These names are very important.
Khan, it says Noah.
Abraham. Abraham. Noah, Abraham. Read on.
Isaac. And Jacob.
All of them married women from their nation. And Noah, he wasn't an Israelite. He wasn't even a Hebrew at that time. He was a son of God. That's what it was called back then. Noah only married daughters that came from the sons of God. Understand that? Shem, his lineage only messed with Shemites that came from his particular lineage. Okay. Then when the Israelites came along, we marry only Israelites, man. Okay. Because guess what? If you marry a white man or you marry a Chinese woman, they come from Hebrews, but they don't come from the Israelites. That's why it's so important that you learn and you study these scriptures so you know when you are mixing, not even mixing, because when the man is in control of the seed. Whatever that man is, that's what your child is, man. So if you're a black woman and you having children from a white man, just know you can say your baby is black all you want to. You gave birth to a damn devil. You gave birth to devil children, man. Your child is a devil. Okay? Bob Marley is a devil. Frederick Douglass, he was a good slave, but guess what? He was a devil. Okay? He was just so nice devil, but he's a devil. All right? And whenever a devil gives me, he owes it to me. He ain't give me nothing. He's supposed to serve me anyway. All right? All right. Anything left on that scripture?
Sir.
We're gonna drop the scripture for right now. Let's go to the next article. because I want to get into this Shiva nonsense, man. Yeah. Let's talk about Shiva. Shiva is a god of the East Indians, man. And this is the most important part of my class. Shwadazar, I want you to go into that article and get the main part of this article that speaks about how Shiva and that other god, I forgot his name. I'm gonna give a damn what his name is, neither. But I need to know his name. I need to know who's my enemy. I mean, all right, because there's only one God, and that God is the God of Israel, man. All right, but let's look this article up so we can give everybody the origin of why love. My bad. Why is marriage based off love? Okay, who started this? And these two East Indian, these Hindu gods started this. Okay. So let me know you got it, warrior.
Sir, I'm looking. This ad there it is. This ad keep popping up.
Okay. Well, let me know you find it. You find it. But man, it's so deep and it's so heavy that we understand all the tradition we follow is a curse to us, man. It's not good to follow things that you don't know nothing about. We just take everybody's tradition and try to claim it for our own. Stop borrowing the tradition and culture from other people and say it's ours when it's not ours. All right? We need to learn the traditions and the culture and the holy days of our forefathers, man. Because the American holidays don't uplift Black people. It don't uplift Hispanic people. It's the reason why we are struggling. We are in hell. These are the gods that we serve want us to be a slave so we can serve their people. The God of this Bible want us to be kings, want us to be on top, and the rest of these nations to serve us. I rather stay with this Bible, man. Okay? That is real protection to separate us from these other nations and for us to be on top, for us to be living, for us to be in rulership, man. If you're not in rulership, you are not living, man. The Black man can't even go home and rule his house because the damn devils that made your woman your enemy, man.
Right.
Read, warrior.
All right. This article reads, the article insists the marriage of Lord Shiv and Mother Parvati was not a normal one, but rather their definitive predetermination was to change the world's most prominent romantic tales in a second. They couldn't measure up to any of the affection sets. After marrying Shiv, Parvati went with him to Kailash, and thus a love story going on for 2 lives had a happy ending, suggesting that India scored over Europe in originating love marriage. The article even gives the date when apparently Shiv and Parvati tied into a nuptial relationship, 2350 BC.
2350 BC. Okay, so a lot of you might have thought that this doctrine of love, we should marry according to love. You might think this doctrine started in Europe, but it actually started with the East Indians 3,000 years ago, 3,500 years ago, man. This is when it started by these so-called gods from the Hindu religion, man. So just know it's not good just to pick up culture and traditions and practices from other nations and don't do your research. You should do your research on everything, man. Because you don't know, if you don't know what's going on, man, you bound to fall. Your foundation is weak. It's not sturdy, and it's going to fall, man. I don't want to build a foundation on quicksand.
Right.
That's what you do when you don't do research. Okay, it's not solid. I call facts cement. That's my cement I lay down. I go on facts. I love that cement. I love history. I love facts because history is facts. You know what I mean? Especially if you know history. You can't take all of history and say it's facts because the white man's the devil. he whitewashed history a lot. You know, but if you want to learn real history, you come into the I.S.U.P.K. You tune into these classes right here, man. Okay? And we'll show you real history, man. All right? You got anything to say, Shabatazar?
Nah, sir. Unless you want the rest of this, want me to read the rest of it.
Oh, I'm good in that article. I'm gonna pull one more scripture. Warrior. Let's get Salakia. Let's get Psalms. My bad, not Psalms. Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 15.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 5 and verse 15. Drink waters out of thine own cistern.
Okay, a cistern is a cup or a vase, you know, something you drink out of. You know, back then they had vases, they had canteens, cups. Know what I mean? We got cups today, but back then they had canteens or vases. But a cistern is in that form. And the Lord say, drink waters with your own cup, man. Out of your own cup. What is God talking about? What is he talking about, man? If you're gonna have sex with your own black woman, your own Hispanic woman, your own Native American Indian woman. Have sex with your own sisters that come from your nation, man. Don't sleep with that white woman. Read.
And running waters out of thine own well.
And if you're gonna drink these waters, make sure you go to that your own well, your own people. Read.
Verse 16. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee.
Wow, man. Wow. Proverbs was written by King Solomon. King Solomon was the wisest man on earth, man. And the wisest man is telling you that the Lord said, do not sleep with other nations. God said this, man. Deal with your own. And this same man had to learn himself the hard way. Let's go to Nehemiah 13 and 23. Chapter 13, verse 23. Okay? And now start from 26. Let's do 26.
Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 26.
You know what? We're going to start with 23. I'm going to go ahead and let everybody get the edification of the scripture to see what integration does to a nation, man. Read, warrior.
Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashad, of Ammon, and of Moab.
Okay, Ammon and Moab, Chinese, Japanese. Okay, those are Chinese people and Japanese people. Read.
And their children spake half in the speech of Ashad, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people.
And why could they not speak their own language? Why? Man, let me tell you something. I know Spanish children that cannot speak Spanish because they over here in America, right? Where everybody don't speak Spanish, they speak English, and they don't care about Spanish because everybody speaks English. All right, it's not the main popular tongue of the area. But what happened here? They're around these heathens, and their tongue is more popular. So guess what? You don't care about speaking your tongue because the heathens look down on your tongue. So guess what? You neglect your tongue and don't even have any kind of interest in speaking your language. So that's why these Jews don't know how to speak Hebrew. Because they didn't give a damn about their language. And if they didn't give a damn about it, these other nations that's around them made sure they made a mockery of it. Shame them from knowing it if they tried to learn it. Okay? Go ahead.
Okay. And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them and plucked off their hair and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves.
Read on.
Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Oh, that's how King Solomon sinned. That's how King Solomon sinned. King Solomon did not sin by having multiple wives. King Solomon sinned when he started marrying these other nations, the other nation of women that made him bring other gods into God's temple. Because they didn't want to be around him unless they could serve their gods. And King Solomon compromised to their wishes. Because he loved his wives more than he loved God. And that's what you cannot do. Read.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish woman cause to sin.
Oh yeah, because when they want to eat their pork, they're gonna eat their pepperoni pizza. You better eat the all cheese, have some kind of beef, or the chicken. She gonna have her pepperoni. Okay, she gonna eat her swine. She gonna eat her shrimp and oysters when you ain't looking. You always gonna be fighting with this goddamn heathen woman, man. Every time you kiss her, just consider yourself unclean. But she done ate something that was unclean. Matter of fact, when you kiss her, she's an unclean thing. Yeah, I can't, man. The hell with it, man. The hell with that. She loved all the abominations of the earth, man. She is a savage. You are civilized. The Lord made you civilized. Okay? And by you being around her, you have to be around all her nasty, disgusting customs. And she's going to embrace her customs and try to make you get rid of yours. And guess what? You have slept with your enemy. And you always going to be at war in your house. Okay? You might as well just deal with your black woman, get her right, get her on board. Stay with her. Deal with her demons, man. Okay? Fight them demons with her, man. Because, hey, guess what? Don't nobody know you better than a black woman anyway. The black woman go through the same thing you go through. That white woman don't know nothing about your condition, man. No, she don't know nothing about your condition. All right? That's why it's not wise, and that's why it's a sin to marry white women. Stop getting your money and marrying these white women. All they're gonna do is give it back to the white man. And all you're doing is making your slavery even more harder, man. When you sit up here and give all your riches to these same people that hung us on trees, man, you making America great again. That's what you're doing when you marry white women. You are making America, Donald Trump, all of them great again. Don't do that. Make your people great. Because your people are the greatest people of the earth. All right? You got anything to say, Sharatazar?
Nah, sir. Great class, man.
All right, Most High Christ. And with that, we got the I.S.U.P.K. History and News. Shalom.
Shalom, Hebrews.